I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son, and I am His Son. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. Whoa. What's that mean? I'm not a body, I am free. Well, let's look what he has to say about it. This is going to go real well with our text reading today too. So, I am not a body, I am free. Realize you're eternal spirit. When your body dies, you'll still be living. No, that's the resurrected life that you can have before you die. You don't have to wait to die to live in the resurrection. I am not a body, I am free. And I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks, here on lesson 199 in A Course in Miracles, printed by Foundation for Inner Peace, here on Wednesday, July the 17th of 2024. I am not a body, I am free. Freedom must be impossible as long as you perceive a body as yourself. Freedom must be impossible as long as you perceive a body as yourself. The body is a limit. Who would seek for freedom in a body looks for it where it cannot be found. The mind can be made free when it no longer sees itself as in a body, firmly tied to it and sheltered by its presence. If this were the truth, the mind were vulnerable indeed. The mind that serves the Holy Spirit is unlimited forever, in all ways, beyond the laws of time and space, unbound by any preconception, and with strength and power to do whatever it is asked. Attack thoughts cannot enter such a mind, for it has been given to the source of love, and here can never enter in a mind that has attached itself to love. Oh, and fear can never enter in. Let's read that again. The mind that serves the Holy Spirit is unlimited forever, in all ways, beyond the laws of time and space, unbound by any preconception, and with strength and power to do whatever it is asked. Attack thoughts cannot enter into such a mind, because it has been given to the source of love. And fear can never enter in a mind that has attached itself to love. It rests in God. And who can be afraid who lives in innocence and only loves? And who can be afraid who lives in innocence and only loves? And that word innocence is a capital I, the innocence of God. Another name for God is innocence. It is essential for your progress in this course that you accept today's idea and hold it very dear. What's the idea? I am not a body, I am free. It is essential for your progress in this course that you accept today's idea and hold it very dear. Be not concerned that to the ego it is quite insane. The ego holds the body dear because it dwells in it and lives united with the home that it has made. It is a part of the illusion that has sheltered it from being found illusory itself. Here does it hide, and here it can be seen as what it is. Declare your innocence, and you are free. The body disappears because you have no need of it except the need the Holy Spirit sees. For this the body will appear as useful form for what the mind must do. It must become a vehicle which helps forgiveness be extended to the all-inclusive goal that it must reach, according to God's plan. Cherish today's idea and practice it today and every day. Make it a part of every practice period you take. There is no thought that will not gain thereby in power to help the world, and none which will not gain in added gifts to you as well. We sound the call of freedom round the world with this idea. And would you exempt from the acceptance of the gifts you give? And would you be exempt from the acceptance of the gifts you give? Let's read that paragraph again. Paragraph 5, cherish today's idea that I am not a body, I am free. Cherish today's idea and practice it today and every day. Make it a part of every practice period you take. So he wants to take this idea along with us all the time. I'm not a body, I'm free. We're going to start living the resurrected life like Jesus did. Make it a part of every practice period you take. There is no thought that will not gain thereby in power to help the world, and none which will not gain in added gifts to you as well. We sound the call of freedom round the world with this idea, and would you be exempt from the acceptance of the gifts you give? We're going to start seeing our brothers and sisters as eternal spirits too, not bound to a body. The Holy Spirit is the home of minds that seek for freedom. In Him they have found what they have sought. The body's purpose now is unambiguous, and it becomes perfect in the ability to serve an undivided goal. In conflict-free and unequivocal response to mind, with but the thought of freedom as its goal, the body serves and serves its purpose well. Again on that sentence. In conflict-free and unequivocal response to mind, with but the thought of freedom as its goal, the body serves and serves its purpose well. Without the power to enslave, it is a worthy servant of the freedom which the mind within the Holy Spirit seeks. Be free today, and carry freedom as your gift to those who still believe they are enslaved within a body. Be you free, so the Holy Spirit can make use of your escape from bondage to set free the many who perceive themselves as bound and helpless and afraid. Let love replace their fears through you. Let love replace their fears through you. Accept salvation now and give your mind to Him who calls to you to make this gift to Him. For He would give you perfect freedom, perfect joy, and hope that finds its full accomplishment in God. You are God's Son. In immortality, you live forever. You are God's Son. In immortality, you can't die. You live forever. In immortality, you live forever. Would you not return your mind to this instead of thinking that you're going to die in a physical body? I'm not a body. I'm free. Don't wait to have a near-death experience to realize that. Realize it now. Start contemplating it, thinking about it, dreaming about it, and feeling it. You are God's Son. In immortality, you live forever. Would you not return your mind to this? Then practice well the thought the Holy Spirit gives you for today. Your brothers stand released with you in it. The world is blessed along with you. God's Son will weep no more, and heaven offers thanks for the increase of joy your practice brings even to it. And God Himself extends His love and happiness each time you say, I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. Wow. So let's be letting that come to fill all of our being, our thoughts. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, And it is only this my mind obeys. You're hearing the voice of the Holy Spirit, that we're not bodies, that you're not a body, your brothers and sisters are not body, and that you can't die, that the body to be destroyed is an illusion, a make-believe. Okay, I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. Okay, let's go take a look in our text reading for today. The Fear to Look Within, which is chapter 21, Release and Perception, section 4, The Fear to Look Within. As you're turning there, what's going on around the world today? Well, it's the anniversary of Disneyland, which Walt Disney began in 1955. International Fergan Day, a day to encourage people to share compliments and accomplishments on social media. It began by in Israel. I'm not exactly sure who it was that started it, but International Fergan Day. Hot Dog Day. Last night was Hot Dog Night. Now we got Hot Dog Day. And the thing that was moving my camera is my hot dog. He was laying there beside the camera and trying to make him a little place to cool off in the dirt. And so he jumped up and ran off. But if he comes back, he kind of tends to make the camera move. Peach Ice Cream Day. The Prunus persica. Your peaches. Instead of making ice cream, I found that, and it tastes just as good. I like them just as good or better than ice cream. And I take all your bananas when they start to get overripe. I just peel them and put them in the freezer. And then when I'm ready, I pull them out with some frozen peaches or fresh peaches. They don't even have to be frozen. And blend them up with some vegetarian milk is what I use, like coconut milk or something, any kind of milk, almond milk. And if you want to add a little honey, you don't need to. It's probably better for you without the honey. But, you can add a little if you got kids that want the sweetness of ice cream. And make those smoothies. National Tattoo Day. Take Your Poetry to Work Day. Victims of Baton Rouge, Louisiana Attack Day. And that's where in 2016, three police officers were killed, 3 were wounded, and then the attacker was killed. World Emoji Day. Wrong Way Corrigan Day. And Douglas Corrigan, he made his transatlantic flight from New York to Ireland in 1938. They refused him passage, so he said, because his plane was too old and it didn't have good enough navigation equipment, but he was a stunt pilot. And he took off, and he says he got confused and went the wrong way, and then just decided just to keep on going. Went on to Ireland, even though they wouldn't give him a pass. So it's Wrong Way Corrigan Day. Lindbergh was a hero of his, so he decided, I'm going to try it too. Anyway, Yellow Pig Day, and that's basically a mathematical, considering the mathematical significance of 17, it being a prime number, and it's made of 4 consecutive prime numbers. 2, 3, 5, and 7 added together make 17, which is a prime also. That's interesting. And there's lots of other things about the number 17 I expect that a mathematician could look at and find some interest. Flying Dragon Trifoliate Peach, or Orange, which I thought was really interesting because it grows in Zone 6. Look what it says about the Trifoliate Dragon Trifoliate, or the Flying Dragon Trifoliate Orange, the Poncirus trifoliata. Flying dragon thorns are long and curved. Plant is small, up to 6 foot. Extremely ornamental with corkscrew growth habit. A showstopper at the nursery, especially with its display of orange fruit in the fall. No insect or disease problems. We make citrus aid from the juice, adding sweetener and water. Fruits are highly aromatic. Fruits are inferior to lemons, being seedy, resin-like, and not juicy. Not to be eaten whole fresh. While will take below 0 temperatures planted in the ground. So it is the hardiest of citruses, along with the straight thorn Poncirus. can be made into prize-winning bonsais. Space 7-foot circles, height about 6 foot, zones 6 through 9. The trifoliate, flying dragon trifoliate orange, the Poncirus trifoliata. So you could plant that citrus here in zone 6 in the Ozarks. The fear to look within. And remember, I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. So with that in mind, let's look at this, the fear to look within and see that you're not a body, that you're free. The fear to look within. The Holy Spirit never teaches you that you are sinful. Errors he will correct, but this makes no one fearful. You are indeed afraid to look within and see the sin you think is there. This you would not be fearful to admit. Fear in association with sin, the ego deems quite appropriate and smiles approvingly. It has no fear to let you feel ashamed. It doubts not your belief and your faith in sin. It doubts not your belief and faith in sin. Its temples do not shake because of this. Your faith that sin is there but witnesses to your desire that it be there to see. This merely seems to be the source of fear. Paragraph 2. Remember that the ego is not alone. Its rule is tempered, and its unknown, in quotes, enemy, whom it cannot even see, it fears. So the ego's not alone because you made it. You're the reality that it fears. And your connection with your immortal self, your true identity. Look within and find that is what he's trying to get us to see. But let's let him develop it. Remember that the ego is not alone. Its rule is tempered, and its unknown enemy, whom it cannot even see, it fears. Loudly the ego tells you not to look inward. For if you do, your eyes will light on sin, and God will strike you blind. This you believe, and so you do not look. Yet this is not the ego's hidden fear, nor yours who serve it. Loudly indeed the ego claims it is, too loudly and too often. For underneath this constant shout and frantic proclamation, the ego is not certain it is so. And of course, the ego is not certain of anything. Its whole origin was based on doubt. Beneath your fear to look within because of sin is yet another fear, and one which makes the ego tremble. Paragraph 3. What if you looked within and saw no sin? This, in quotes, fearful question is one the ego never asks. Could you look within and not see it? And you know, I've been part of religious circles who discourage people from meditating and looking within because they think you would just get caught up in the devil's workshop, you know, and that and so they really discourage you sitting still and being quiet and being contemplative and letting your mind just go where it wants to go naturally. What if you looked within and saw no sin? This fearful question is one the ego never asks. And you who ask it now are threatening the ego's whole defensive system too seriously for it to bother to pretend it is your friend. And again on that sentence, and you who ask it now, the question is to look within. What if you looked within and saw no sin? This fearful question is one the ego never asks. And you who ask it now are threatening the ego's whole defensive system too seriously for it to bother to pretend it is your friend. Those who have joined their brothers have detached themselves from their belief that their identity lies in the ego. A holy relationship is one in which you join with what is part of you in truth. And your belief in sin has been already shaken, nor are you now entirely unwilling to look within and see it not. We're beginning to say, well, maybe it'd be worthwhile to sit still and quiet and open my mind to what is. Paragraph 4. Your liberation still is only partial. still limited and incomplete, yet born within you. Not wholly mad, you have been willing to look on much of your insanity and recognize its madness. Your faith is moving inward, past insanity and on to reason. And what your reason tells you now, the ego would not hear. The Holy Spirit's purpose was accepted by the part of your mind the ego knows not of. Catch that. The Holy Spirit's purpose was accepted by the part of your mind the ego knows not of. And that's the part that the ego thinks is threatening, the part that it knows not of. The only real part there is, because remember, you're the one that gives the ego life. It can't be a lone. It's a figment of your imagination. It's a perception that you've built on the concept that you're vulnerable, that you are a body. The Holy Spirit's purpose was accepted by the part of your mind the ego knows not of. No more did you. And yet this part, with which you now identify, is not afraid to look upon itself. It knows no sin. How otherwise could it have been willing to see the Holy Spirit's purpose as its own? Paragraph 5. This part has seen your brother and recognized him perfectly since time began. And it desired nothing but to join with him and to be free again, as once it was. It has been waiting for the birth of freedom, the acceptance of release to come to you. And now you recognize that it was not the ego that joined the Holy Spirit's purpose, and so there must be something else. Think not that this is madness, for this your reason tells you, and it follows perfectly from what you have already learned. 6. There is no inconsistency in what the Holy Spirit teaches. There is no inconsistency in what the Holy Spirit teaches. This is the reasoning of the sane. You have perceived the ego's madness and have not been made afraid because you did not choose to share in it. At times it still deceives you, yet in your saner moments, its ranting strikes no terror in your heart. For you have realized that all the gifts it would withdraw from you, in rage at your presumptuous wish to look within, you do not want. A few remaining trinkets still seem to shine and catch your eyes, yet you would not sell heaven to have them. Paragraph 7. And that word presumptuous and sell were both in quotes because it's the way the ego sees it, not the way the Holy Spirit knows it. Paragraph 7. And now the ego is afraid. Yet what it hears in terror, the other part hears as the sweetest music, the song it longed to hear since first the ego came into your mind. The ego's weakness is its strength. The song of freedom, which sings the praises of another world, brings to its hope of peace. The song of freedom, which sings the praises of another world, brings to its hope of peace. Brings to it hope of peace. For it remembers heaven. And now it sees that heaven has come to earth at last, from which the ego's rule has kept it out so long. Heaven has come because it found a home in your relationship on earth. And earth can hold no longer what has been given heaven as its own. Then the last paragraph to finish this section, 8. Look gently on your brother. Boy, that needs repeated. Look gently on your brother. That's where the holy relationship begins, by being merciful, being calm, being gentle. Look gently on your brother. And remember, the ego's weakness is revealed in both your sight. What it would keep apart has met and joined, and looks upon the ego unafraid. Little child, innocent of sin, follow in the gladness the way to certainty. Be not held back by fear's insane insistence that sureness lies in doubt. This has no meaning. What matters it to you how loudly it is proclaimed? The senseless is not made meaningful by repetition and by clamor. The quiet way is open. Follow it happily, and question not what must be so. Let's just accept what is. Question not what must be so. Let's start looking within. Let's be sure to do your 2 5-minute practice periods today, and or longer, 10 to 15, if you've got to that place where you can sit still and enjoy the silence and your mind kind of settles down into a calm place, but yet alert. I am not a body, I am free is what you'll tell yourself in that 5 minutes. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. So let's begin to listen to the Holy Spirit, see our innocence, see our eternalness that's not attached to the body. Course of Love talks about how a little exercise it talks about is how to see yourself as outside the body and watching yourself walking around, but visualizing yourself from outside the body. A nice little practice of recognizing I am not a body, I am free. Okay. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son. And I am His Son. His Son can suffer nothing, and I am His Son. And you are His child. Look within and find it. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. I am not a body, I am free. And let's use the same word we used yesterday. It just so encouraged me that my daughter had found it, Asomdwee. Asomdwee by the Tikakan tribe of Ghana. They're on the Gulf of Guinea in Africa, West Africa. So Asomdwee. I am not a body, I am free. I hear the voice that God has given me, and it is only this my mind obeys. Asomdwee.